Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows, the new Star Wars movies that are currently in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm as well. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, we are currently in a very exciting time for Star Wars, given that there are a lot of things happening at the same exact time between George, John, and Dave Filoni working on shows like the Ahsoka series, the Mandalorian Season 3 and 4, and a lot more to arrive in the next couple of years as well. Now, this year's celebration event, mind you, it's going to be very involved with a series of announcements for books, comics, and novels, and video games, and TV shows and the like that's really going to take fans by surprise. Now, with that being said, we also know that Kathleen Kennedy is hard at work on the Acolyte TV show, a particular TV series that, let's face it, a lot of Star Wars fans are raising their arms over because of how it's really going to deal with the High Republic era, and how it's going to have a lot of identity politics thrown in there, and a lot of real-world conflicts. Now, we already know that this show has been having a lot of issues behind the scenes, a lot of problems and setbacks time and time again, different firings of directors and co-writers by Kathleen Kennedy, which we'll talk a little bit about that more later, but everything related to, of course, the Acolyte TV series is that there is one thing in particular that is really worrying, not just for the Star Wars community, but also what Disney CEO Bob Chapek is concerned about when it comes to the Acolyte TV series and what Kathleen Kennedy is now actually doing and pursuing for the overall Star Wars franchise. Now, on top of all of this, alright, with that being said, many new Star Wars shows are set to be announced at this year's celebration event and next year's as well, that will enhance the new universe by Disney CEO Bob Chapek and creators Favreau and Filoni. However, recently Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy made one of the worst decisions in Star Wars as of late, with one of the new Star Wars projects for the Star Wars franchise. Now, it's described that as of right now, the Acolyte TV series, Kathleen Kennedy is all set and ready to drastically change the character of Yoda, to where Yoda is set to act as a totally different character in the High Republic era. Kathleen Kennedy is currently on a mission and has a goal in mind to change Yoda's personality in the Star Wars franchise drastically during this particular time, and is said to be in the process of hiring director Rian Johnson to take care of Yoda in the Acolyte TV series for some of the episodes. Not just that, however, but Kathleen Kennedy is also set to appear as a cameo in the series as a brand new character codenamed Crystal, who is said to be a character that collects and sells kyber crystals to Dark Force users across the galaxy in order to craft lightsabers. Kathleen Kennedy is described to have been the one to initiate this plan, to insert herself into the Acolyte series as Crystal, who is best described as a 60-plus-year-old character with long white hair that carries a pot of kyber crystals and sells them for profit and personal gain. Now, let me just stop right here for 1 second. Now, we talked about this lightly a couple of months ago, that Kathleen Kennedy would be coming into the Acolyte TV show in the form of a cameo, very much similar to what George Lucas did on a far minimal scale in Revenge of the Sith, you guys may recall. You know, I think that when you look at everything related to Kathleen Kennedy inserting herself as a cameo into the Acolyte TV series, this is going to be bad. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not saying that it's going to be bad just because I dislike Kathleen Kennedy. I just think that this is bad. Because to have a cameo like that just makes no sense, at least in my opinion, especially being done by Kathleen Kennedy, who is not an actress, really, per se, and how she is going to have lines of dialogue in the show, it just makes no sense to me. At least the George Lucas cameo made sense. You know why? He was in the background for maybe 3-4 seconds tops, and that was it. It was kind of just a fun thing that George Lucas threw in there, with himself, his children were also in Revenge of the Sith, mind you, in the form of cameos. This scenario, however, Kathleen Kennedy is actually making herself out to be a pretty, significant role in just one of the episodes of the Acolyte TV series with a handful of lines of dialogue. So this is definitely a different level of involvement in a Star Wars show. Now, on top of that, alright, now this take by Kathleen Kennedy is described to only be for one episode. However, her character is said to have a big impact on its core characters and how their lightsabers will be created in the series. Now, director Rian Johnson is already excited to return to Star Wars in the Acolyte series by taking control of Yoda, which will be done in the show. With Johnson's trilogy scrambled by Bob Chapek, Kennedy wanted to bring Johnson back and give him another chance with the franchise by not only directing the episodes that involve Yoda, but also directing the episodes that involve the story of the Jedi and the Jedi Council, as well as the Jedi Order. This is said to be something that Bob Chapek is very worried about, and of course is very concerned and fears another backlash is coming from the fandom, since it is dealing with a fan-favorite character once again in the Star Wars franchise. Now, again, alright, we're back to square one essentially, where it almost sounds like this could very well be The Last Jedi 2.0. I don't know about you guys, but we have another fan-favorite character that's going to be a big focus in the Acolyte, and we have Rian Johnson coming back. Now, again, like I say, Rian Johnson just was not fit for Star Wars. Say what you will, but he actually has his own side of filmmaking. I know that Knives Out did very well at the box office and the ratings, the feedback was pretty big with Rian Johnson on that movie. He may very well be, a good director or writer for other projects, even though I personally don't watch his work. I never did watch his work really in detail. I refuse to. But everything related to that, I think that he's just not fit for Star Wars, period. He may be fit for other projects of his own, but he's not fit for Star Wars. I don't know why, but he's just not. There's something with his creativity that just does not fit the overall direction of the franchise. So, it's a big mistake by Kathleen Kennedy to move forward with all of this. Now, the series is now set to begin filming by this July, and has been going through numerous delays since it was greenlit in late 2020. Now, Kennedy is making sure that this show will involve tons of identity politics and real-world conflicts to be addressed, and is using this show as a way to send a message to the world. The Disney higher-ups, of course, are said to be very insecure about this series, and are fearing it will derail their plan to bring Star Wars back on track once again. Bob Chapek has already made it clear that if the show fails, there won't be a season 2 of the series. Writer Leslie Headland is also excited to reveal new details about the show at this year's Star Wars Celebration event. So keep in mind that this year's celebration, we will be learning a little bit more about the Acolyte TV show. Now, on paper, it sounds interesting, right? It's about a rising dark force power, and the theme is a mystery thriller. Now, when you just listen to that, okay, it sounds pretty interesting, right? But when you dive deeper into who's involved, what characters are going to come to light, who's taking control over those characters, that's when it spells a recipe for disaster. So once again, I think that the biggest problem here is Rian Johnson taking control of Yoda, and how Kathleen Kennedy is indeed moving forward with that plan, and how she's going to be involved as a cameo. This is going to come off like a parody. I don't know about you guys, but having Kathleen Kennedy in a Star Wars series sounds like a parody. But I digress, guys. Let me know what you guys have to say about all that below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.